Amy,
Yes?
look what I got in the mail the other day. Okay, ready?
What? Yeah.
It's going to take a minute oh, there we
Oh,
go. Can you see it?
stop it. Do you have jury duty?
Don't they
Stop
know I'm
it.
already on jury duty?
It's still us, Mo and Amy from the Flippin' Fantastic podcast. This is just our behind the scenes where we talk about everything and anything except reselling. Make sure you subscribe and take a listen. Bye.
Oh my gosh.
Don't they know I already have jury duty right now?
Oh.
I am a juror in the KarenRead trial. Hello.
You have experience. Or did you really get a summons?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That is insane, Mo. Oh my God.
I get it. Okay. I was, for a while, was getting it like every 2 years. And I hated it because a couple of the times, so this is Delaware, it's Superior Court, it's Pettit Court, it's like 1 to 2 day trials. If you even get picked, like they just pull you in there. And for a while I was getting it, I swear I was getting every 2, because you can only get called every 2 years. You're in the clear for 2 years after you get called. And but this was when I was still working, and I kept getting called. One time, okay, when I was pregnant, I got called in the summer.
Oh my God.
And I was a teacher. I was like, come on. And I sat there all day, and I was like, you're in an uncomfortable chair, and it's just, back then you couldn't bring anything in with you. Like, because I read on a Kindle, I had to find a book. I had a magazine. You couldn't have your phone or anything. They just recently started letting you bring phones into the courthouse.
Wow.
But anyway, I haven't been called for like 5 years. The last time I got called, I got out of it because I basically just got out of surgery. Like I came home.
And then you got your paper.
And I was like, when I went to the follow-up to the doctor, they're like, oh, here, and gave me my out. But because it was major surgery. Anyway.
You're on medication and you just stand up and say, I object as a juror. They're like, what's going on with her?
Exactly. Anyway, yeah, so now I have to go in June, and I'm going to be PO'd because I'll miss a day.
Oh,
it's okay.
No. Well, maybe you won't get called.
Well, here's the thing. What? I'm telling you, I've been on 2 or 3 juries. 2. And usually I sit there all day. And here's my theory. Because Drew, he's like, he gets called for jury duty, but he never gets on the jury. I'm like, because you're a middle-aged white man. They don't want you. I go, I'm a middle-aged white woman with some like, not that means anything, but I have degrees. Do you know what I mean? So they look at that and they're like, both sides are like, oh, she's probably a bleeding heart liberal. And then the other side's like, well, she's got she's got education and some science background, and
right.
I go, I'm their favorite.
Their favorite.
It sucks.
So I served when I was 21, I think. And I think it's kind of crazy. Well, that was a hot mess, but I wonder why they picked me, because I was a bartender and a lifeguard at 21 and a college student.
And I was crazy.
And I was hungover during the first day of trial, like totally hungover. And the funny thing was, I went out the night before. I think it was during the summer too. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was during the summer because I remember what I was wearing. So I was lifeguarding and stuff. I had to get off. And I went out the night before the trial. And when I went out, whatever, did my thing, was out all night. And then when I went in the next day, one of the clerks was at that bar that I was at the night before. He came up to me and was like, I saw you last night. I was like, oh my God. Like, oh, she's probably no good today. Gosh.
That's hilarious.
I just remember that. I saw you last night. I was like, because I entered some contest too, and it was a hot mess. But just the fact that it was just running through my mind, like, oh my God. Oh, and he probably recognized me because I was wearing the outfit that I was wearing that day of court. So, I went out, like I went to court, then went out that night. And then the next day we had to go back. So I was wearing that outfit. And it's probably why you recognized me too. Because I was, wearing my little dress. It wasn't crazy. It was like a summer dress, but whatever.
That's so funny.
Geez. It wouldn't fly today. That was totally, oh God, when was that? It had to have been like 2000 maybe.
Was
like,
it a long trial or was it just?
No, I think it was 2 days. It was like a traffic. It was traffic.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it ended up like I didn't know the person, but I was like, I recognize her. Like maybe she went to my high school or something. Like the girl.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I just remember that. But it's funny. Funny. Small world.
Man. Mm-hmm.
I know. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about KarenRead.
We're here to talk about the actual jury that we're on right now.
Yes.
The KarenRead trial.
I wonder when I get paid.
What's that?
I said I wonder when I get paid.
I know, right?
What are we on? Week what? 3?
It's on week 3. As of today, when we're recording this, it is, I think, day 15, right?
I think, I think so. Day 15.
They're on day 15, so they're in week 3. And it is a crazy up and down.
Yeah, it is.
Now, I didn't watch all of the first one. I started to go back and look at it, but I didn't finish. But
well, if you started from the beginning, you didn't see any of that in this trial.
Because they're not going in any kind of order. What do you think about that? Because as a juror, like, I'm trying to think of it as like, okay, I didn't really know. I mean, I do know stuff, but like just thinking of it as, okay, this is like when I'm first hearing of it or first hearing the details of it. They haven't even told you what they think. They haven't even specifically said, we think KarenRead hit John with her car. Like they haven't even presented anything like that yet.
Right.
It's crazy to me.
And they haven't even told, I don't think they've even talked about how he died. Like actually died. No. So I know as a juror, it is kind of like if you don't know anything about the case going in, especially the first one, because I didn't know, I only knew like maybe like a 5-sentence synopsis of what the KarenRead trial was about when I started watching the first one. So when I was watching the first one, I was just like, I am so confused by this timeline. Like I'm not even understanding what happened until they finally showed his arm and stuff. And I was like, what? I'm just now learning about this, you know?
Yeah.
So,
and in this one, we have seen his arm, but just recently, like yesterday. I mean, I think they showed it to Officer Yuri Buchanan, who is a piece of work. That guy.
He played dodgeball a lot when he grew up because he's certainly good at it now. He's like, whoosh, whoosh.
Holy moly. Just answer a question already.
I know.
He won't. He won't.
No.
And he's let's talk about how because he's been on the stand for like 30 days. He's gone back and forth and like he's contradicted himself. I love how like the day before he tells or like I guess it was Friday, he told AJ Jackson, said, you do know what theory means, right?
Oh,
you had a theory. What was your... And he's like, I don't know. English is like my third language. And then yesterday, he's like, well, our theory was.
Yeah.
Our theory was. And then our theory changed. I'm like, dude, you didn't know what it was Friday. Did you use the dictionary that Jackson told you to get Webster's out?
Maybe he did. He Googled theory when he got home.
He's a homicide detective, and you don't know what theory means? Come on.
And his brother, I don't talk, that has nothing to do with the case. And his brother is also in law enforcement too.
Yeah.
So it's not like,
please,
whatever. I know.
Please.
I know. It is it's a lot. It's a lot to digest. But he's done. I think they're done with him now. So, but there's so many questions that I guess they could have asked, but I guess they're going to argue them on cross. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. I guess just to be able to hold that restraint and not ask questions. But what do you think of, let's see, like some of the early people. Well, the first one, the first trial, John O'Keefe's mom, Peggy, didn't testify, but she did on this one. And I think it was because the first one, the brother testified. And I think he had some like internet issues. So, but I think they're trying to keep him out of the like spotlight, you know? But I don't think that the mom did the state any justice, because when she said that line about when they were in the hospital and she looked down the hall or whatever and was like, what is she doing here about Karen? I just thought, I mean, it's probably out of context, but it just sounds very like abrasive and like, you already like her. You know what I mean?
Well, that's what I feel. I feel like they did not like her, his mom. And I've read, since I started watching this, I've been reading things, and I will say it's all hearsay, all rumors, that she drinks a bit too much. Well, they all do. Hello. And that that is the reason that John took these kids in, his niece and nephew. Like, he didn't want his mom to have them. That's what people were saying.
Oh.
Because she's an alcoholic.
Interesting. I didn't hear any of that.
So I don't know. I mean, I don't know if that's true, but seeing as how everybody in Canton's an alcoholic.
Yeah. Or they like to drink a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's Boston. It's the Boston area. Good grief.
It's their culture.
It's in the genes, I guess. I don't know.
It's literally in their water.
Yeah. All right. They don't drink water. But yeah, so I did hear that. I have also since heard that, now I know I think she talked about how she lives at John's house now, I guess, with those kids.
Yeah.
But I've read elsewhere that her husband does not live with her.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know any of that.
And I have heard
like they have both houses, like they maintain both houses.
Yeah, and that he doesn't think, well, and this is all internet rumors. I don't know. But that the husband doesn't think Karen did it. So I don't know.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't hear any of that. But I wonder if,
like, I kind of got on Turtle Boy Facebook and Canton TikTok, or Canton area, Boston area TikTok. Like, I got into that loop, and that's what I don't know. Do you know, people could be who knows who these people are stuff. And making up stuff. But
it's interesting though.
Wow.
Oh, and I was going to say
one more thing about them. I just wanted to say, how do you know how they, like, his brother, like, apparently stares her down in court? Like, they moved him. Did you notice that? Like, really, in the first couple days, they moved him, so he wasn't like in
right there.
He's like from like this way now, and not from this way.
I'm sure he's irritated by that too. You know?
Yeah, but like, you can't. That's like it's almost like harassment. Almost. Yeah, it's like harassment in the courtroom. Like, you're just sitting there staring at her.
And
you know,
and they're so close. Like, everything's so tight. So
it's a like tiny courtroom.
He's probably. I'm like trying to look. I mean, that was probably like 3 to 4 feet away from her. You know, he was like trying to like block the view.
Exactly. It's a tiny postage stamp of a courtroom. Like, it's a postage stamp at a yard.
I would have been like, I need to put a chalk up right here while I'm working, so you could like keep track of stuff.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I didn't know anything about that. I was going to say, maybe the dad was they were living separate because the kids aren't the kids older now? Like, 16.
Yeah, they're still underage, but they're,
I just meant they're going to be like going to college.
Yeah.
So then maybe they're like, we'll just sell that house and then just go back into our old house.
Right. I mean, I get keeping the kids in the same house, like, because John did, right? I mean, that's the house that they lived in with their parents. They don't change schools. They don't,
Yeah. They've already had enough disruption in their life,
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I mean, disruption upon disruption. I get it. But yeah, so I don't know. Like I said, it's all hearsay. It's all just rumors.
Just having fun.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's interesting. It's interesting too, because in some of those, so they read all those text. I'm jumping around. You can.
I don't care.
Jump in when you want to. So they had him read those. They had Buchanan read the text messages between her and Brian. Not Brian Albert. Brian Higgins. Too many Brians. Everybody's got a goddamn.
And he read with inflection, which I'm sure the state told him not to, but he did it anyway.
I don't think they wanted that.
It's
But
just like, bro, chill.
Yeah. But you know how Karen said this goes back to the whole Peggy, and she's like, he wasn't built for this, and he knows it, like being a parent, you know?
Yeah.
And it was difficult. Oh, and that leads me to my other rumor is that, you know, he had all these women. Carrie, what's her face? What's her last name?
Carrie Roberts?
Yeah, Carrie Roberts, Jen. He had all these on his speed dial to help him out.
Oh, yeah,
Like he was that was the other rumor. He was a big flirt and he kept all these women to help him out with the kids, which, you know, you're a 40-something, you know, a 30-something man, and you get 2 kids you never expected to have. You know, I get it. I get it. You know, it takes a village, but that's the whole thing. But Karen had said, you know, he never thought he was, and he doesn't feel cut out for it, and you know. That whole
but
thing.
you know,
and I don't.
We all think that too, though, Mo.
Exactly.
Like even me, even you. You know, everybody has those moments where, like, oh my god, I can't. You know?
Exactly. I just, it just, even if it just plays into the, you know, why didn't his parent, you know, his parents take him? Because you know what? When she was on the stand, that was what I was getting to. She kept saying, "There's 4 guardians."
Oh.
She kept saying there was 4 of us, like her, John. I guess her husband,
and
grandpa, whatever they called him, Papa or something. I don't know. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, she kept emphasizing that. I'm like, why are you like? It was weird. That was weird to me. It was like John had custody. I don't understand this.
Right. Maybe that. Yeah, you're right. Maybe that was an issue too. Like,
yeah. So I don't know. Right. I don't know. You know, I don't know if that we'll ever know what goes on there, but. I don't think that family dynamic was always a happy family dynamic. It just doesn't feel that way to me. That's just my gut telling me that. I don't know. Peggy sounds like a bitch. So.
What did you think of Jen's testimony and stuff?
Oh my god.
Because I didn't know if you got that far into the first one and saw hers.
I did watch a lot of hers from the first one. Well, first of all, can I say this?
Go ahead.
So I think people are like, Jen definitely got a color analysis done, and she's a soft summer because she keeps wearing that blue.
Yes.
I mean, she has a glow up from the first one.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And she parted her hair on the other side so it's not covering her face and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. She did. But hey, if I was in that situation too, I'd be like,
I would too. I want to look like
best.
Same.
Yeah.
I think it was just funny because you know how I am with the color.
Anyway, yeah, she did. She did look nice in that, like, I don't know what you said. It's like a summer or a spring color.
Yeah, like a soft blue. Like, yeah.
It's like a
people
periwinkle.
She's a soft, yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's like soft summer. And but she too defensive. The nefarious comment? Nefarious.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I don't know what you're saying. It's not nefarious.
I know. I guess that's the only thing that's like that is like a bummer about it having like the second trial is because they already know what is coming. They already know the questions that are coming.
Right.
And so they're just like anticipating, you know, like, oh, I know what you're going to ask me 4 questions from now, so I'm going to be careful how I answer this one, you know?
But I feel like she wasn't careful. Like careful in a way. She was careful, but in a way that like is too, like stands out way too much, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Well, the nefarious comment, like, why would you say that? He didn't say it. He's just asking you yes, no questions. And when you start explaining, you know?
What is it? Doth protest too much?
Protest too much. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what she was doing. I was like, bro, chill. Just
exactly.
The question. I'm sure Brennan at this point is like, why did I take this case? Why did I take this case? These witnesses are awful. They don't listen to what I tell them. Because the last thing he says to them, answer the question only. And then they go, I'm going to do what I want.
Right. But they get so defensive, so defensive. I'm trying to think of some of her other stuff. We've been on Buchanan for so long.
I know. Yeah. I mean, just all of it. And I can't believe they haven't even gotten into all of the butt dials and stuff like that. Like, that hasn't even come up yet. I mean, so
Yeah, it came up a little bit with her, but not
like
not the whole thing yet.
Brian and Brian and stuff like that.
Yes.
Like there's just
oh yeah.
Or the deleted or the
her 200 deleted phone calls.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And the what was it, like 200 plus phone calls in 3 days?
Yeah.
Like that's insane.
No, I haven't made 200 phone calls in a year. So like what?
I know. It's just there's just so much. It's just insane that it, and then the whole I just don't get how, like, why are you going to call John and text John every 2 or 3 minutes between, 12, I forgot the times now, but like 12:27 and 12:34, whatever it was. And then just stop and go, oh, I guess he's not coming.
To me,
and then just stop.
And this is, to me, it's from somebody like, I'm not fresh as a daisy into this. This is not my first time experiencing it. I knew some of this stuff already, but when they were like kind of putting it out there, I was like, why was she so hell bent on getting him to the Albert's house? That just seems weird to me. Like her calling him, like you said, calling or texting him, like, you coming, park behind me, blah blah blah. Like, why? They're either coming or they're not. Like, who cares?
I know. And I know. It's almost
that was just real. It just is really weird to me. I
thought so too. I was just like, and her husband was there and stuff, but she kept saying it was her dear friend. But then, when they had to call 911, she said a guy's on the ground. There's a guy.
Yeah.
The guy is on the ground.
The guy. Well, she wanted to be as accurate as possible. Well, not saying John O'Keefe was a fallen officer on the ground is not being, that's even a little more.
But I was just thinking, well, if that was the situation I was in, I wouldn't say a guy. I would be like, my friend is on the ground. My friend is laying in the grass.
Yeah, exactly.
He's non-responsive, something like that. But
yeah,
it's like
a guy.
Yeah, exactly. Because it isn't a stranger. That's what I would say if I just literally found a stranger in the grass. Like, there's a man. I wouldn't even say a guy. It was, well, I guess that maybe it's just an area, but I would be like, there's a man passed out in the yard or something like that.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I know. And I've seen so many things about the fact that Jen had the phone, and at the exact same time that Karen was leaving the house at like 5 a.m, that Jen called her sister in the house at the exact same time. And people were saying that maybe she saw the ring notification going off that Jen was leaving, or that Karen was leaving the house. So she was giving her sister a heads up, like, oh, she's leaving her house. She's on her way. Right. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. Because, if you had the phone, you would be able to see all these notifications that pop up.
And they didn't, well, that was after, but they didn't Faraday it. So we know that.
I know.
Afterwards.
And then Brian going to the Canton Police Department, and after one, I don't know if they talked about it in this trial, but him and Brian were in like New York City or something for like a funeral for like an officer.
Yes, they did. They did talk about it. I think, because but
they traveled all day. Then they went out drinking.
It was in the text. Go to work? It was in the text between Albert and her. We're going to. Guy got shot in the head. He talked about, and we're going to a benefit or whatever for.
Yeah. So that's a lot of traveling, and then coming back, and then drinking, and then going to a house party, and then going to Camp PD, and rearranging cars and going in offices and stuff all day.
He moved one car, right? I mean, he didn't.
I don't know.
I don't even
know. Did he
know.
move the car? I saw her or open car door and stuff.
Honestly, I was doing some work, and I had to stop so I could look at it because I was listening, and it was just him walking around. Like, what was he doing?
On his phone when he said he wasn't on his phone? I'm sure that'll come up though. What else are you doing with your lit up phone next to your face? Yeah. And I guess we'll find out when they talk about the call log. They'd like to see if those times match up. Like if he said he was butt dialing Brian Albert. So I wonder if those times are going to match up from the Canton PD. And then so you're lying. You're just like, perjuring yourself or whatever.
Yeah. And by the way, this is like brand new. That was that from him, that video from him at Canton PD is like new. It wasn't in the last one, right?
For some reason, I thought I remembered seeing it, but it wasn't that clear. I don't know if it's,
or maybe some of it was new and some of it was, it was cleaned up or something. I don't know.
Yeah, because I don't know if I just in my mind saw it when they described it, kind of like when you read books, you can like visualize the book. I don't know. But
so he was at the Alberts, right? And then went to Canton PD.
Where was his Jeep? I'm so confused about his Jeep. People haven't seen his Jeep, but yet he said he parked in front of the mailbox. But then the other people didn't say anything about his Jeep. I'm just so confused about from the first trial to this trial too. I'm so confused about his Jeep.
I thought Jen McCabe said she could see his Jeep when she was looking out the door.
The sober guy that came to pick up his sister, the Ryan Nagel.
Oh yeah, the only guy that's telling the truth in this.
Yeah, he never said anything about the Jeep because the Jeep would have been in his way of seeing Karen's SUV.
Yeah.
So it's all confusing. Like what I wish they had just pulled all the cameras, the ring cameras on the everywhere. I mean, there was a police officer across the street too. But yet they didn't.
And why didn't they?
Exactly.
Well, that one cop he's retired, that older guy. He was the Canton I don't know what he was. He's Canton police. He came he got to the scene after they took John O'Keefe's body.
I'm not sure who that was. Is this somebody who testified?
Is it? Yeah. Yeah. He was on before. He was on before Buchanan. I can't remember if he was before or after the tech woman, the phone celebrate.
Oh, her. Okay. Yeah. I stopped writing them down at 13.
Yeah. And now I lost my train of thought. What was I saying?
You said that something about he came there after they took his body.
Yeah, but what were we talking about before that?
I was talking about the cameras across the street. I was talking about cameras.
He had a whole thing because the chief of police was across the street. And first he said, we had the same camera. It didn't show it. I know it didn't show it. And then then he was like, well, then they were like, okay, well, it's not because he kept saying ring, but it's not a ring. It was a blink camera or something. And he was like, well, so Jackson, he was like, the ring. He's like, it's not a ring, it's a blink. And he was like, okay, sorry. And he said, but a doorbell camera or a front door camera, whatever.
Yeah.
He goes, you said you had the same one. He's like, no, we don't. I don't have that one. And I was like, wait, what? He said, and then he changed it and said they were talking about it when they were both getting them. So they were comparing. And I was like, but I thought he said he had the same one too. I thought
so too.
He said it didn't see across the street. It only saw the front door.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. It's going to see something.
But it's better to just pull it, in my mind, to say, hey, I can show you that it doesn't show anything instead of just guessing.
But they didn't pull anything. I mean, it's apparently it's long gone now because, they don't store those things forever. That's gone. They didn't pull any of the neighbor stuff. They didn't go into 34 Fairview. They never went into 34 Fairview.
I know.
Let's talk about 34 Fairview because I gotta, because this blew my mind because the pictures I kept seeing were like Google pictures, Google Street View and stuff. And, that camera is very wide angle and it distorts everything. Or if you look at real estate photos, real estate agents always use the wide angle. So everything looks bigger, but they want to get everything in the picture. It's fine, but everything looks way bigger. And so that one day, the jury went to 34 Fairview. I mean, we didn't see it, but then I saw some like news clips after, and I was like, holy crap, that front yard is tiny. They make it sound like the front door is like 1,000,000 miles away from where his body was found.
Right.
And it is not.
No, not at all.
It is not. All right, so here's the picture. Like, Even this looks a little bit far away. Okay, like
It
the
looks
angle they
huge.
took it at, right? And it's not, they're not a wide angle lens. It's, they're just taking it from a low angle. Then you get to this one, and I'm like, that's like 2 steps away. There's the flagpole right here.
Yep.
There's the door, and then hold on.
You got another one.
Oh, this is when they had her car parked there.
Yeah, it's not like a quarter mile.
Honestly, it is probably about the same size as my front yard. I don't have a very big front yard. John O'Keefe was 6'2", 220, almost 220 pounds. That's like my husband's size. That's a big guy. You don't see, there's not much snow on the ground yet when everybody's coming and going. It's only enough to track a cat. You gotta love that meteorologist.
Yeah.
He was the best.
And they don't have like a lot of shrubs. You know how like some people have like a lot of landscaping in their front yard?
Right.
Like all in the front yard.
Yeah.
There's no landscaping in the main part of the yard. So it's not like, oh, I was confused. His body was, I thought there was a bush.
He would have been, oops, I didn't mean to click that. He would have been in this area right here. There's the front door. Jen McCabe kept looking out.
And their bedroom is in that top left corner.
There.
I know.
How did those people not come out?
And they have a dog who's supposed to be security. So,
The dog, that whole thing. Oh, here's her.
Her missing stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know. Like, and look how close.
I mean, if you're driving by, you don't see a big lump of a person in the front yard.
I know. It would, if anything, you would think it would look like 2 trash bags, like, 2 big full like garbage bags on the ground.
Yeah, you would see.
Mm-hmm. I don't understand. Right. I see bunnies in my yard. So there's, how much are bunnies? Like 8 ounces? No.
And there is here's overview. Overview. So there's the front door. Here's around where the flagpole is, right here. And this is somebody's. Somebody had this up because they speculated, because you could come up the stairs out of the basement. From the back, and where they could dump him.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that the railroad track was that close, because they've talked about the railroad track.
Yes.
I didn't know it was right there, but
it's pretty close. Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, it's not close enough. Like, that friend was like, why wouldn't they drag him to the railroad tracks? Remember on the special?
Yeah.
On the ID special. I'm like, well, there's like a lot of trees and stuff in the way. It's not. That wouldn't be an easy place to drag a dead body to.
Right.
Rigor mortis and everything. Oh my goodness.
No, not at all.
So it blew my mind how small this yard was after everything that they keep talking about, and how nobody would see him.
Yeah.
And the dog thing. Can I just tell you that 2 nights ago, I have a dog. He's not a guard dog. He's just a mutt, right?
Don't tell him that.
I know. So it's like 4 a.m. I don't know when he came and laid down with us. He doesn't always, like, except when it was like really cold in the winter. It's too hot for him. But he was in our room. And all of a sudden he jumps up and like just has the deepest, like, the get away from me bark, and I'm like, oh, what's he doing? And he runs downstairs. I hear him, and our family room has big slider, window door, and I hear him, he's like, oh, at the door. So we get a lot of deer, so we figure there's deer out there. Well, then he comes upstairs. This is like 4 a.m. He comes upstairs. He's like on my side of the bed in my face, barking at me, like, wake up.
Oh.
He goes around to Drew's, wake up. So Drew does get up. He looks outside. He's like, hey, I don't even see anything. This dog barked for an hour. We were like, stop. I mean, on and off. He wasn't like constant, but then he would like jump up and bark again. And we were like, oh my God. You're telling me a German Shepherd didn't cause any fuss? That dog wasn't there if it didn't cause any fuss.
Oh,
anyway, that's my take on the dog.
Yeah, or he was in the basement or something.
Muzzled or something somewhere. Yeah.
Who knows? And that whole like like they did those he was rehomed. The dog was rehomed and named Cora now, or she was rehomed. It's a girl, right? Chloe. Yeah.
Yeah. Chloe to Cora.
Yeah, and I guess because it still sounds similar. I don't know if it's even the same dog because they didn't even get the vet records from.
Right.
Well, they said they got the vet records from Chloe's previous owner because the O'Brien or not the O'Briens, the Alberts.
I don't think anybody knows that it's 100% the same dog. And like somebody said, who renames like it's a 7-year-old dog. It was a 7-year-old dog. Who renames a 7-year-old dog? I mean, you rename a puppy if you get a puppy,
sure,
that somebody gave a name to, but
I had a friend that renamed their dog. I don't know how old she was when they renamed her. Mm-hmm. I think she was probably a couple of years old, but they changed her name completely. Like her original name, I was thinking about this yesterday. Yeah. Her original name was Pebbles, and they changed it to Iwi. So it was totally different name.
Wow.
So I remember like trying to call her Pebbles, and they were like, "Stop saying that."
I mean, to me, that's crazy. I mean, I've gotten puppies, so the rescue or wherever has a name on them, but we gave them a name. Yeah, that's. But like, I feel like an older dog it'd be a little harder to change their name because they're used to.
Yeah.
That's
true. It's a different dog. That's why.
I don't think so. I don't think it's the same dog. I mean, who gets rid of their dog, changes the inside of the house, does immediately after does some
basement remodeling.
Right. And fills in a pool and then sells the house under value. This is the Boston area. Like, I'm sure, prices up there are nuts.
Who knows? I know. I didn't know about the pool stuff, but yeah, it is. And I told you, I heard from Turtle Boy that somebody got in touch with him and said that they were pulling the carpet from the house out, and that Karen she has it in storage.
Yeah, but that's crazy to me.
But it's super expensive to test spots, I think, from what they said. So,
right.
I think you would kind of have to know more information before you spend a lot of money.
I mean, that's like
testing.
That might be like, appeals after the, you know what I mean? If worse comes to worse for her.
Oh yeah. There's just no way. I saw in a.
You can't not have reasonable doubt. I don't understand.
I know. I saw somebody said they asked ChatGPT to analyze the retrial and say if what the verdict will be, and and it said basically it would be like a hung jury or an acquittal. I thought that was kind of funny. Like as of yesterday or 2 days ago, or maybe Friday. That's what ChatGPT said. Which I was like,
don't know. What? Well, I read too. It's the Boston Canton area grapevine, and then I keep reading this stuff on that because it's like, why would anybody take this case? Like because I guess on Emily Baker's, people ask, do they have to take a case?
Yeah.
Does the state have to prosecute? And they don't have to. Like, this isn't a good case. Like, and so why they're even prosecuting it in the first place when they have nothing? I don't know.
Yeah, I know. I know. It's confusing. It's a lot. I know. Oh yeah, I saw somewhere that someone said that Brennan's, I guess, I don't know if it's his firm or he's a partner at a firm or something. I don't know. But it said that their advertisement said that if we don't win, you don't pay. So people
he's a defense attorney, right? He's a special prosecutor for this. Yeah.
Yeah. But they were like, oh, are you going to give the Canton residents refunds if you lose the case? They're spending tax money on it,
Did you hear what he called? I think, I'm trying to figure out what that one witness's name was. Maybe it was like Gallagher or something. He mispronounced.
Oh, like completely mispronounced it.
Like everybody was saying, "What did he just say?"
Like who?
It wasn't a hard name. It wasn't like Buchanan. It was like it was like Gallagher or something. It was like a Boston Irish name.
Yeah. Like, it was like, where did you get
I'm
that?
like, you're Brennan, you have the most Boston accent I've ever heard, and you can't pronounce this Irish Boston name. Oh, it was so funny.
Yeah, I was just
That
like,
poor
okay.
guy.
Yeah.
That guy's name, that older, he was Gallagher. He was the police that came after. You know, he's the one that got the solo cups and he had
Right.
the leaf blower. I mean, just so much ridiculousness. So I guess we can end on like where these pieces of taillight are they being found? Weeks
3
later.
weeks later. I know. Well, if you ask Buchanan, it's being unsurfaced naturally by the sun. So no.
I don't understand why are they just driving by and, oh, there's a piece, let me go pick it up. Why weren't they looking for it?
Exactly. And
as soon as the snow melted.
I know. And don't you think if you were a homeowner, that homeowner, you would be like looking? Because don't you have to do, well, I guess it was January, February. You're not doing yard work really. But
yeah,
don't you think that you would be like, oh, I see tail light in the grass. I should notify people. Exactly.
But also,
they don't want to.
Also, when there's all kinds of cops and fire engines outside your house, and you're a freaking first responder yourself, and you don't come outside, bull. I know people that were. I've known cops. I've known firefighters. You know, volunteer firefighters around here. Their nosy butts are all up in that.
Yeah. Yeah.
We once had a fire at the school I worked at, and a bunch of, it's a school, a bunch of firefighters come. There must like 50 firefighters. They all come, the volunteers, because it's all a lot of volunteers around. They come in there. So we had like 2 or 3 trucks come, and about 50 guys in their personal vehicles because they hear it and they're not doing anything, so they come.
Right.
I call shenanigans on them not coming out.
Of course. It just screams shenanigans. It screams shenanigans.
Yep.
Canton shenanigans. It's called I can't figure it out. Cantonins. Oh my gosh. So we'll have another, hopefully 15 more days, maybe more. Because gosh, I'm curious if I want to know if the state's going to call Proctor, and then if not, if the defense is going to call him. That's what I'm waiting for.
I mean,
it's going
to look bad to me. To me, if I was a juror and you didn't call these people, I'm like, why are you calling these people? Because I've heard nothing but their names for 3 weeks. Alberts, Proctor. And then, and I don't know why the defense, especially, definitely call Proctor.
Oh, yeah. Unless they just want to argue why the state didn't.
The state didn't,
yeah. And they say, oh, I mean, they didn't even call him. So, I mean, they got Buchanan to read all that BS in, and and they haven't even heard half of the nastiness that they said about Karen. They only heard two things.
They really haven't heard why. Yeah, the whole gross stuff that he said. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And his personal text with his buddies, not even that police group, his like personal high school friends.
Yes.
But I guess we'll have to cover this more, because we could talk about this all day long.
Seriously.
Well, we do. We send each other memes and things about it. But so watch it. Let us know. What are your thoughts on the case? And with that, stay sassy, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks so much for watching, and check out more of our videos right here. Stay sassy.